Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to a very special video. I have just hit 900 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and to celebrate I'm doing a Q&A. Now this is an absolutely astonishing moment for me, so first and foremost, thank you everyone so much for subscribing to my channel. 900 subscribers, for someone that's doing it for as long as I have, you think, God, he should have a couple more digits in that sub number, but you know what? 900 is more than I ever thought I was going to get. This is absolutely phenomenal, so thank you for subscribing, thank you for your viewership. And again, to celebrate doing the Q&A, I released a video not too long ago saying to people, this is going to happen, so ask me some questions, nothing personal, nothing political, and I got loads. I also went through some old videos and just went through all my comments and found about 10 or so questions that I could add to this as well. There are a couple that are repeated, so I'll try and merge them all together. A couple of people asked more than one, which is a good thing. I did encourage that. I don't know how long this is going to take. You will obviously see how long this is going to take by looking at the video length. One quick thing I need to notice, here and now I'm obviously celebrating 900 subscribers, but at the same time there is work going on in the house, so if you hear any loud noises, any banging noises, it's because there's work going on. I do apologise, but I can't afford to delay this, so let's jump straight in. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, there's our first big noise. So this comes from Martin Pacara. We're starting off with a couple of old ones. It says, is the Emerald Champion the biggest Lego engine in the world? It is unofficially. To the scale of the tracks, it's the longest and kind of like the largest of all because of the overall size. There was a moment where Big Red was longer because it just had more tenders. But there are models that people make where you can find this in the, which one was it? I can actually try and get this up because there was a vlog, I think it was the Great Western Lego Show in Swindon, where there was a big Flying Scotsman model that was all brick built. There was nothing like to the scale of like the minifigure tracks, and that sort of thing can conflict with whether my models would count as the largest Lego trains or not, so having to get the correct details, let's make sure of that. But yeah, in terms of to the scale of the tracks, I would say yes, but there are no there's no like official group or anything that say, yeah, you need to have these certain qualifications in order for it to count. So yeah, Great Western Lego Show 2016, you can find the massive Flying Scotsman model there. It's in the thumbnail as well, so you can have a look at that. And yeah, so that might count, but ultimate answer, I'm going to say yes, but unofficially. The Mystic Jolton has a couple of questions. So first of all, do I like Minecraft? Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. I used to play a ton back in secondary school. One of my friends was going on and on because he had it on PC. I said to him, what is so special about it? I mean, you build things and that's it. So I went around his house, obviously, because you're kids, and he showed me all the things that he made, the 2D Mario, like the level up mushroom, and just a bunch of like mansions and whatever else. He was playing with the redstone, and I thought, well, that's not actually that bad, I might give it a go. So I thought, yeah, I bought it for the Xbox 360 because I didn't have a PC to myself, and I was hooked. I was absolutely loving it. I thought, yeah, I'm going to be playing this. And all the updates came in for the Xbox 360. Creative mode, I can remember the announcement they said, we're finally adding creative mode to 360. It was so good. But then I was there going, oh, look at all this is really good. And my mate started going, yeah, we've already got on PC. We get mods as well. I was like, bugger. Yeah, I like Minecraft, but it's not a go-to game. I do have it on my 360 still, which is there, right next to me. So yeah, I like Minecraft. Good game. Terraria is better. I'm going to leave it as that. The second question was, what is the biggest Lego MOC you've ever made? Officially, it's Big Red. It was the first quintuplex. It had its main boiler, then it was like the secondary boiler. Secondary boiler where all 5 driving units were there. There was a maximum of 2 tenders there at a time. I've made a battle tender, a water tender, and a crane tender. I've only ever had 2 of the 3 together at a time, which is a bit frustrating because I might go back and rebuild them just for the sake of more length. But yeah, I think the biggest one I've ever made was Big Red. Third question is, do you like any of your older mocks? Yeah, I do. There's moments where I've looked back at some of the older stuff I've made, especially in my first Emerald Knight video. Let's get that up again. I might have to keep my browser tab at the ready. So yeah, in my first Emerald Knight video, where it was a 4664 Challenger model, in the background I placed all the other things that I had. So I thought, right, I've got a blue train, a red train, and I've also got this 422 kind of tank engine version of a Stirling single. And it looked absolutely beautiful. I was so surprised at how well it worked. So yeah, as soon as you go into the video, so I've got it up again now, I'm not going to show you because of how the camera's facing. But as soon as you go into the video, as soon as it begins, everything's behind you, behind the train that is. So the tank engine version of Big, oh my god, they look so old! But it's so nice seeing them again as well. I've been able to kind of like single them out and kind of clip them as their own videos. But there's a red and yellow, again, 422 steamer model, and it looks so good. Oh my god. I can never recreate that because it was so nice, so unique. The wheels actually turned as well, the driving units actually turned. It was brilliant. Oh man. So yeah, those are like my oldest stuff, and that's the sort of thing I do like. There were other models I've made in the past, they're kind of over a couple of years old now, so yeah. All the old stuff I've definitely liked and made. There are a couple of things I didn't like though. And that's not a big problem. Question 4. What is the worst train you've ever made? Oh, there's two answers to this. So, there's one I did document and another that I didn't. And that's still alive. I'll show you in a moment actually. But the one that I think was the worst, it was called Green Jetzilla. The videos are still available. You can look them up if you really want to. Though I don't recommend it because it is ugly. I thought, right, let's try and be a little bit gimmicky this time because I had a ghost train. I made my own ghost train. That you absolutely should check out because it's so cool. But I thought, right, I've got plenty of green bricks. You know, Emerald Knight's one thing, but I want a lighter green. I want to try and play with some different colours. So I thought, why not make a steam engine that's electric? What the fuck was going through my head when I thought that was a good idea? So yeah, it was just, you know, I got the wheels, I may as well make something. It was made, and I thought, yeah, it looks cool, but I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. Nowadays, I look back at it, I think, my god, that was awful. There are some design aspects where the front and rear kind of trailing wheels use an interesting design that was later used for the Blue Guardian quadruplex. That sort of thing was cool, but as a whole, it's awful. The version that I made previous to that was called Sandstorm. That is cool. Very steampunky. And tell you what, right, let me go get the other... Oh, I gotta try and wiggle my way out of here. Hang on. Oh. Where is it to? Where are you? You exist, stop hiding. What the hell is it? Ah, there we are. So I've made trains from every which colour available, so I thought, I want to make one that's kind of looks like wood. Something that's a bit brown. You can barely see because of the light. Oh, for fuck's sake. Can I try and get a bit more light on here? If I do that, it doesn't really work. And oh, here we go. There's a bit of light. So I thought I'd use the XXL wheels just for the sake of having them used. 3 tool funnels, a really shitty cab, tiny boiler. It was supposed to take some ideas from the Stephenson's Rocket Aero steam models. I thought, what the fuck did I just make? It looks awful, and you know what? I'm kind of glad. This is the only thing I'm going to make with this. So if you want a video from this, let me know, because I don't mind doing a video on it. I just thought it was so bad it's not worth it. Absolutely awful. So Green Jetzilla and that ugly mess. Hang on, I've got to lift my leg back in. It's so awkward, this little space where I sit to edit my videos. So I got my PC tower here. I got one monitor there and my TV there, which I only use for playing games on. I don't actually watch TV. But because of how it's all organised, I'm kind of stuck in here. It's a bit weird. His final question is, do you like mudkips? I don't know what it is, so I shall not answer. I'm not going to look it up either. I've got more things to do. P.S. Love your videos, you're a nice guy and I love your mugs. Ah, I didn't actually see that. Oh, that's brilliant, thank you so much. Bloody hell, we're 10 minutes in already. Okay, Joey Goodfield says, can you do a face reveal at 1,000 subscribers? That's the idea. Your proudest train? The Ghost Train. Absolutely. When I made the Ghost Train, it was... Well, I bought the model, the actual Monster Fighters model. I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant. Because I saw another model online where someone made a huge one. It was like a big brick built face, 2 massive fists on the side of the boiler. It was gorgeous. I thought, I have to make my own one of them. So I bought the original set, started making a couple of minor modifications. And then it became a 610-6 steam engine, and then it became known as the Phantom Express, and it all just took off from there. Oh my god, it's so cool. It really, really is one of the best things I've ever made. It is up there with Emerald Champion and Big Red as like the 3 engines that would represent my railway. The problem is, I didn't keep it because it was a bit gimmicky. I thought, yeah, Ghost Train, there's a lot of parts there that I can use for things for trains I'm going to be making more often. So we got scrapped, but oh my god, I'm looking through the videos now. It looks so good. Why did I get rid of that? Oh. One day, I might buy another Phantom Express Monster Fighters Ghost Train set and try and rebuild that. I do have a box, just to the side here, with some of the remaining Ghost Train pieces. I might, maybe one day, not anytime soon though, give that a rebuild. I would love to do that. See, I even gave it an attempt to try and rebuild it. There was a version 4.0 of it where I thought, might as well try and bring it back because I loved it so much. A lot of people loved it. Didn't really kind of meet those standards that it was previously, but I thought, oh well. My favourite LEGO train set, Emerald Knights. 2009 model as well, nearly 10 years ago that set was released. Nothing has ever been able to come close to it since. The way it was built, with the introduction of the new train wheels, it was just perfect. Nothing has been able to touch it. And will you ever do any diesel models? I do have a couple of diesels. There was a Santa Fe knockoff which is called the Frisco Face from a company called Enlighten, obviously like a Lego-esque company. That was one thing I made, that's still available. I bought the 2014 Blue City train set, really good. I kind of do still want to get the new 2018 green with the new power-up system, or Power Functions 2.0 as people call it. But I'm not paying 180 quid for it. That's way too expensive. Technically, yes, I could buy it, but there's no way I'm paying that much. Hell no. I do have an old Lego system set. I think it's from 1996? Question mark? I can't remember exactly, but it was a yellow diesel. I tell you what, I'm going to get up again. You'll know what it is when you see it. Hang on. Oh, it's a bloody good diesel. Where art thou? Come for me. Oh shit. I'm knocking things over. Knocked over a couple of shields. Spoiler alert. This thing. Anybody? Oh, hang on. Let me get to. There we are. Remember this diesel? The old style Lego system diesel. Yep, we have this set. We do have the parts for all the other bricks, but sadly, this is the only thing that's kind of left from that set. Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to rebuild one day because obviously I would love to have some more rolling, so I can be good little video to do a review on. Beautiful little diesel, absolutely love this. I've never made any mock diesels though. I haven't gone out of my way to attempt that. Well, not yet at least. There is a question that I saw that will lead to that. And that's mainly because I've always preferred Steam, because obviously Steam is cooler. But diesel was one, I will have to look into that one day because that would be an interesting task. Go back into this, so yeah. That was Joey Goodfield, thank you very much. Next guy from Guillermo Estrada. It says, can you give me some tips on how to build trains like yours? Yes. There are a lot of things I could say, and I might do my own little series on that as well. Some tips and tricks on how to kind of make my own trains, or how I made my trains rather. The ultimate thing I can say is learn how to build differently. For example, with, I can even lean over and grab this one. So one of my best looking steam engines by far is the Duchess of Hamilton, which is, come on, work with me here, yeah? Which is this model right here. It's a streamlined model, and it's very different to your conventional steam locomotive. The boiler is built very differently to how a lot of people will probably attempt it. There's the 2x2 kind of standard traditional slope. In fact, you can see they're being used on the little corner here, the 2x2 traditional kind of slope bricks, really old. And I thought, I can't use them, that's not going to look good. So I got the 4x2 kind of slopes you see me using for the roof, but I've built them along there as well. And it's a different building technique, and obviously that stands out. That's what makes this looks good. So it's obviously a good idea to try and use different building techniques, because you can figure stuff out better and you can create better shapes. You can make something like this. So ultimately, get all your bricks, just figure out how to put some of them together. If anything looks cool, keep that and use that, because again, end result looks like this. There are people that just throw bricks together, thought, oh, it's just going to make a quick train, and yeah, like I've done in the past. But ultimately, just take your time with it. Don't aim to get the final model instantly, because that's not going to happen. Things like this obviously take a lot of time. So yeah, biggest tip I can give you is just experiment with your bricks. There's so many different ways you can build. So why not play with that? I need to find a place to... I'm getting all my trains and I'm putting them behind the camera now. That's not good. Oh god. Oh, it's so good, this engine. I love that. Okay, let's get out of the way. So yeah, there are other tips I can do as well, but I think I'll do my own little series on that. That'll be a good idea. That's something I want to do. Alright, quickly... Okay, good. Plenty of battery left. Fully charge this as well. With the question, next stuff. So, Aaron does stuff. Yo, you got Instagram? I do, but it's my personal account, so tough. But I do have a Flickr account. There is a good side to this, because with my Flickr account, I take pictures of my models and put it up pretty much instantly. And especially in the past, I would take a picture of my work, put it up there, and the video that I would have made on that would not come out for a couple of months later, because of how I would work my upload schedule. So it's a great place to get sneak peeks. It's a brilliant place to go look at some of the work I've done. It's got some of my older models on there as well that might not have been on YouTube. Is there anything there that isn't on YouTube? I don't think so. Well, there's going to be, yeah, so there are actually some things on here that you might recognise, or you think, oh my god, I didn't know you had that. But yeah, everything that's on here is on my channel. But it's a brilliant look at some of the models I've made in a better light, because obviously I can get proper pictures done there, rather than what I'm doing now with the camera. I'm trying to argue with the focus, and it's awful. So yeah, Flickr is the best thing I've got next to YouTube. So if you want to follow me on another social media, it's Flickr. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to follow me. Great stuff. Mason Liskey says, hey, did you ever watch Unstoppable, and will you get any 2019 track packs when they come out? I have watched Unstoppable. I came downstairs, both my parents were in the front room watching the film. I said, what's this about? He said, about a runaway train. And I was like, that's it, I'm hooked. I'm not going anywhere for the next 2 hours. And it was so tense throughout the entire film. I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant. Yeah, great film. Absolutely love it. And in terms of track packs, probably not. I've got plenty of track as it is. A lot of the sets, well, a lot of the track pieces that you want, like points and straights, they're kind of like the main 2 bits you get, because when you get a train set, you'll get a loop or even just a circle, so you've got plenty of curves already. Nobody really cares about the flexi track. And again, you build up so many curve bits, you don't really want them. I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of curve bits still with that little plastics tube, keeping them all together, fresh from the packet, because I'm never going to use them. So, if they did a set or a box that was points and straight bits, then sure, that I will get. But I'm not going to get anything with flexi track or curve pieces, because I just don't need them. Pie Eating Pete, the ledge, says, can you email me instructions? No, because instructions don't exist. For my models, they're just built from scratch, and there's only one video I've done where I've kind of made it, well, actually no. It's not really from the beginning, it's a modification video. Oddly enough, it was for Green Jetzilla, which is the engine I don't really like. I'm not going to send anyone any instructions because I'm not going to fuck around with that shit. You just look at, what I do, I just look at a model and think, right, how do they build it? I'll try and build it up my way. I can get away with it as well because I have so many bricks. And I do have a job, I am earning money, so with that I can spend more to get more. So, emailing the instructions, no. But if you want to figure out how to do something, just do what I do. Just look at it and build from there. It's a lot easier than you think. It genuinely really is easier than you think. It does help to have a lot of bricks, but that can mean nothing when you're building. User Lego Master says, could you link me where you got those wheels? So he's on about the Shapeways wheels. So let's get the brown mess that I made earlier. Ugh. A lot of people have asked me about this, surprisingly. So these wheels are massive compared to the standard wheels. Let me get... Oh, it's a good thing I actually kept these here now. Aha. Planned this all along. So the wheels on this model are the traditional Lego made wheels. Very nice, very cool indeed. They were used and introduced, in fact, from the Emerald Knights. But there is a website there called Shapeways, and it's like Etsy, where you have your own shop and you sell your own products. One guy has a store where he makes Lego compatible train wheels at multiple sizes. There are some which match the size of Lego's wheels, there are some that are larger. These are an example. They are very pricey though, so you do need to spend your life savings to get a decent set. I spent, I'm not going to say how much exactly, but I spent a lot on White Medallion alone. And these wheels were used on White Medallion. They are brilliant wheels, well, they can be, because these are 3D printed, and the way that they're made, obviously, the cross-axle hole in the middle of the wheel, where you actually need to put the piece in to connect it all together, will sometimes be a bit, like a tad too big, or a tad too small, and it can be very frustrating. But honestly, if you want to experiment and build differently, absolutely buy those wheels, because it's a lot of fun. I'll leave a link to the website in the description as well. But I warn you again, very, very pricey. And I'm pretty sure they do ship worldwide, so another bonus. Fung Lam says, how does it feel to be famous? I ain't famous, but it feels bloody good. Jelly Y-Link says, more steampunk coming? Or not? I don't know. I would like to make more steampunk-esque models. I think this is the last one for now, this brown mess. I'm not going to focus all my models being steampunk though. I mean, there are some models that I would like to keep somewhat realistic. With Big Red, I kind of had to dumb down on the details because I thought it was a bit too much. And it didn't really look too professional, so well, the way that it is now, it looks more like a proper engine. It still has a lot of standout details, but it's not as wild as it used to be. So, steampunk will absolutely come back, but it's just whether I can figure out how to bring it back in a way. I do have a playlist on my channel that is dedicated to all of the steampunk models that I have made. It's literally just called Steampunk Inspired Models. It's got an old version of the Orange Bullet, older versions of Emerald Champion, Stevenson's Champion is on there, the Contraption set, the Sandstorm is on there. That's a brilliant little model to look at as well. There's loads in there, and I absolutely recommend it. Very cool. Smugface24 says, will you do a diesel quad thingy? No. Straight up, just no. I don't like making diesels, and massive diesels do exist, but a quad version isn't. There is a diesel. These are American diesel things, where you got your main, like picture the Santa Fe, the Super Chief specifically. You got the main diesel section, but they have like a secondary sort of unit. It's like the diesel equivalent to a tender. I don't exactly know what it is or what it's called or whatever, but this is probably as big as it's gonna get. So I'm not going to be making one, but something like that kind of does exist, I suppose. Sebs Wanken says, what do you like to eat? Pizza's my favourite food, obviously, because everybody loves pizza. If you put pineapple on pizza, you're stupid. I don't care, just don't. I do love me vegetables, obviously. I love to be able to eat healthy. I do look after myself. Body's a temple, obviously. So whenever we get a roast dinner, I'm like, yes, I'm looking forward to it. Especially lamb. I love lamb. That's my favourite meat. Chicken is obviously up there as one of the best meats ever because it's so delicious and deep fried. But lamb, smothered in gravy, you can't beat that. I would like to try lobster, like crab and lobster. I've never eaten that. Something I want to try. Diesel291 says, can you try to make Edward, James, or Percy to go with Thomas? He says he's made Boko. Good for you, okay. I'm probably not going to be making any more Thomas and Friends models, mainly because, in terms of actually, I don't know, James seems interesting, actually. No, not James, Edward, rather. Because I do still have plenty of small blue wheels left over. That might work, actually. I might look into that, I might give that a go. But besides that, I won't be making anything else. I won't be making Boko specifically either. What an odd... Oh, I'd love to see Boko come back in the series. Where's he been? Yeah, I'll have to look into that, okay. You can kind of get away with Gordon as well. I mean, it's just the Emerald Knight. Just take off the smoke deflectors and make him blue. There we go. But yeah, I'll look into Edward. That's quite interesting, actually. Black64 says, which Thomas character would you love to make into a Lego MOC? Oh my god. I would absolutely love to make Diesel 10. If you don't know who Diesel 10 is, first of all, what's wrong with you? Secondly, pause this video, open another tab, type in Diesel 10, and just behold how fucking cool he is. Right, I'll tell you what, to those of you who can't be asked, let me... Oh yeah, I've got my keyboard next to it. I don't almost have my keyboard, it's there. My keyboard's there, but I'm having to put the camera here because of the Q&A. Right, let me spell Diesel properly first. Diesel 10. Oh, he's so cool. He's a British Diesel, but he's tan in colour and has a massive claw called Pinchy on the top. Who installed Pinchy? I've just clocked that. Who the hell installed Pinchy on Diesel 10? And the Fat Controller was okay with it. Never mind. But yes, Diesel 10 is someone I would absolutely love to have on my railway. I definitely won't do it in tan though, because that is going to be too tricky to get a hold of. There's no way I can get the tan bricks, or I would even buy them just to be able to put this model together. Oh, that's a good idea. I've got to make Diesel 10. Oh, that's good stuff. I'm liking that. Black64 also asks, how much time does it take to make one of your MOCs? Honestly, it can take between a day and a week. A year or I think it was a year ago. When did I make the Quadruplex series? Because that was absolutely brilliant. Hang on. Oh, shit. So yeah, I was through one summer. I spent a month and a half, about 6 or so weeks, making 6 quadruplexes. Basically, just taking all my big models and stretching them out to quadruplexes. So that was, yeah, August last year debuted the era of the quadruplex, and it was brilliant. I spent the month and a half, again, prior to that, all the way through June, getting all the parts, making them bigger, and... What was the question again? I just want to make sure I'm not deviating. Yeah, how long does it... Okay, so yeah. Each model took... Because there was 6 in total that was debuting, and each one took about a month. I had to buy all these parts online. They took a week in its own right to get here, but I was obviously doing stuff in advance. Some MOCs can take a couple of days as well. You could just bash through something that big in a couple of days. But there are models I've made where you can just obviously bash through it in a couple of hours as well. Obviously larger ones take more time. So yeah, just between 1 day and a week, ultimately. The summer of the quadruplex, I love that so much. So good. Another question he asked is thoughts on the Lego games. Lego games are just like a Lego version of your standard game. It's the same thing. Lego Dimensions is fucking awful. I don't care if you like Lego Dimensions, that's you. But I tried playing that. Like, we bought it, and the next day, me and my dad said, right, we'll play this game. We'll build everything. We got a couple of extra packs as well. We got the Zane, the Ninjago. Ninjago spinners. They were the shit back in the day. But yeah, there was no way we could progress through the game because there was nothing that told us what to do. Nothing told us where we had to go. It was so difficult. Some people might have already learned this and researched this in advance, but we had to spend so much time pausing the game, pausing it, and then going back to a video we were watching that showed us what we had to do. But even then, we had to skip through half of it just to figure out what he did, because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing either. So, Lego games, they're cool, but Dimensions, shit. And 3 other interests other than Lego. I have 2 expensive hobbies, Lego being one of them, and that is the other. I'm a big fan of Marvel, and Captain America is my favourite superhero. I've got a lot of Captain America merchandise, and I've got plenty of custom shields as well. So with that, obviously Marvel was one of my top hobbies. Big fan of video games. I love the Call of Duty Black Ops zombie stuff. I've been following it since Black Ops 1. Well, that's a lie. I discovered the zombies thing when I got Modern Warfare 3. So the year after the first Black Ops game with the zombies, I was like, oh man, that looks really good. Ugh, pardon me. And Black Ops 2 trailer came out, I was like, oh my god, this looks really good, I want to get into this. So I got the game, got the season pass, was playing it through the year when it was all coming out. Oh, the excitement when Mob of the Dead came out. Oh, that was so good. Now Blood of the Dead is a thing. Black Ops 3 was cool. Chronicles, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, video games is a thing. I don't really have that many games. I do have a Steam account and I am playing around with some things, but I only ever... So I've got Fallout 3 on 360 as well. I love Fallout 3. That's my favourite game. Fallout game, that is. I've synced over 400 hours in Fallout 4. God help me. And yet I've only got one character. Terraria, I might go back to every so often just to dig around for resources. You know, it's late night, I thought, not really tired yet, just play a bit of Terraria. There's some games like the Sorcery series, Civ 6 I've got there, Raft, which was a thing for a while, which I've only got a couple of hours in. I had the demo before I bought the game, and you play through the parish, like the first 2 kind of areas. We did that so often before we were able to get a hold of the game. And the first thing we did was we played through the game and be like, oh Christ, we've got to learn through these areas. But we figured out that when we got to that parish area, which was obviously the last bit of the game, we were like, oh, we know this area, we can fly through this instantly. But we did what we did in the demo. We didn't actually go through the levels. We just fucked around for about 20 minutes before we thought, oh, alright, time to get on with it. Tank spawning in, oh god, get going. Yeah, video games, Marvel has some of my money. That's kind of it, really. I like to make stuff as well. I'm a bit of a craftsman. You will see that in future videos. I'm working on the next season of videos as well. Plenty of work being done. Plenty of shields being made. I'm just sorting out some stars for a couple of models. The one that this is going on in particular is absolutely beautiful. Unique design. Can't wait to get that out there. So yeah, that took a time, but that answers all the questions. So Dr. Aina says, what are your interests other than Lego trains? Well, yeah, that's what I mean, where some of the questions kind of repeat themselves, so same thing really. There was one where he asked a long time ago as well, how many pieces are in your locomotives exactly? Exactly, no idea. I don't count the pieces when I'm building, that's just unnecessary stress, really. If I'm there counting all the bricks, I'm going to lose count, and it's just a waste of time. But hundreds, if not thousands, on the quintuplex, like all 5 wheelbases alone, must be a couple of hundred. At least 500, surely. I mean, again, looking at the quintuplexes now, fucking hell, they look huge from this angle. I'm looking at it looking at it down that way where they look massive. Ah, oh, it's brilliant. But I tell you what, there must be at least 1,500 in the quintuplexes each. God, loving it. Don't know exactly, but it's not a problem really. And he also asks, what was the first Lego train set you ever got? Ooh, I am pretty sure it was the Emerald Knight, rather. It was Christmas 2009. Well, it was a month or so prior. We were looking on the web, me and my dad were looking on the Lego website, and I said, well, he showed me, he was like, oh, come on, look at this new train. I was like, oh my god, it's perfect. New wheels, new colours. We used to get these does anybody remember getting the magazine, like the catalogues? It was like spring 2009, summer 2009, winter 2000. Oh my god. I don't know if they still do that anymore. And we got the magazine that had, well, the catalogue that is, that had the Emerald Knight in there. It was on the bottom. I can remember exactly where it was, like when you get the double page spread open, it was on, as you're looking at it, it was on the right page, but on the bottom half. Oh shit, was it the left page? I don't know, but it was definitely on the bottom half of the page. I can remember always skipping through that book just to look at the Emerald Knight. I thought, I will have you. I don't care for anything else for Christmas, I just want that train. I got one, I was so happy, but that's the first one I kind of had myself. Prior to that, we did have a couple of other train sets, but they were my dad's, obviously. Again, Yellow Diesel, that was a thing that we had. We had a couple of vintage train stuff. I did get a couple of others after that, but I'm very sure that Emerald Knight was the thing that kicked it all off, because, yeah, look at my series, basically. So that was Dr. Iena, thank you for the questions. Obnoxious Otter says, hang on, I just want to make sure. Oh, we're getting to the last couple of questions. Here we go. So he says, would you consider doing any model trains? Ooh, probably not. I'll tell you what, I say that, over there, on the other side of my bedroom, I've dug out all of my Hornby Thomas & Friends trains, and all the rolling stock, and it's actually not that much. But they're very old models. I didn't know I had Bill and Ben. They're retired models, and I had no idea I had them. I never remember buying them, but yeah, I dug them out. I was like, who the hell's this? Bill and Ben? Oh my god! We got Duck, we got well, I say we got Emily, but it's like a really old shitty version of Emily. It's a completely different model, but we'll argue about that later. What else is there? There was a set of Toby with 3 trucks. I look on the sticker, it says Model Mania, like £20. I was like, oh my god! The prices as well. Why can't we just keep that? If I were to do a model train video, it would probably be with them, just seeing them go around a loop. That'd be really good. But besides that, no, I'd stick with Lego trains, frankly, because model trains is just, that's its own expensive mess. That's tucked away in its own space. I'd have to dig it all out again just to do a video, and I'm not doing that. But Dad's got plenty of it, so I'll have to nag him instead. Obnoxious Auto asks... sorry, let me say that again. Obnoxious Otter also asks... Do you still reply to comments? Yes, I do. Most of them. There are some where they're like, oh, this is a cool model. So instead of me replying to that and saying thank you, I'll just... Because there's... underneath the comment, there's a little thumbs up thing. I'll just click on that, and I'll say, that's my way of saying thank you. So I'll reply to most of them as a way of like where they want the conversation, but I will also just, if need be, if there's no need for me to actually make a full-on reply, I will just click on the little thumbs up and say, yeah, thank you, that's all it is. So if you do want to leave some comments and have a quick conversation, yeah, please do. I won't always get to them instantly. There'll be some moments where, you know, because of time zones or whatever, if you send me a message on the comment section and there's something you demand to know, you might not get it instantly because I live in England and I'll upload my videos around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm recording this about, well, I started this video about 12 o'clock midday. And, so yeah, for me, I'll get that uploaded. I'll leave that to go for a couple of hours, let people view it and whatever else. So by the evening, about 6 PM for me, a couple of comments start coming in. If it's something worth replying to, then yeah, I'll reply to it. But about 12 hours after that goes out, someone will ask me something and I'll demand an answer. But the chance is I'm not going to be able to do so because I'll be in bed. So with the tangent done, ultimately, yes, I still reply to comments. All is good. Dilemmas Prime says, 2 questions. What's your next video? Oh, this was an old one. Okay. So he's asking about the Lego Factory Train series. So he says, what video came after and what of the 30 models did you keep? So, is it down there? No, it's not down there. It's in the... Yeah, I know. Okay, I can show you which one I kept if you don't know this race. So, videos just after the Factory Train series, videos just continued as normal. It was nothing special. It was just, you know, more Lego mock trains and that sort of thing. And, yeah, I have to get up again. Oh, I can show you which one I kept. Where? Right, now. The tiny truck, where is it? There we go. There we are. So this is the one I decided to keep. It's the small... I think this was number 28. Out of 30, because I did it in an order where the online instructions were presented in that such way. It was, you know, it's freight rolling stock. It was a nice small little truck. It's got some nice details to it, so I thought, you know what, I'll keep this one. I made the last 4 models all at the same time in the same day, got all those videos recorded, and I thought, yeah, just keep this one. It's a nice little truck. Very cool looking indeed. So that's the one I kept, and bloody hell, I'm running out of space here. As long as it doesn't fall off, that's okay. That's the one I kept, and videos just kept going like that. Are we on to... Ooh. Right, you will have to excuse the couple of jumps that this video has occurred, because my camera ran out of recording space, and it is limiting how much I can do now. I've only got 12 minutes, well, that's plenty of time. I don't know why that is. Oh dear, something's going very wrong. But no worries. We are down to the last question. Dilemmas Prime also asks, so considering I have Thomas, am I going to do Annie and Clarabelle or any troublesome trucks? I kind of have a troublesome truck in the form of the little gondola car I showed you earlier. Annie and Clarabelle will just be 2 other coaches. I've got 2 of the red city, like the 2010 red city passenger train. I've got plenty of coaches, I'll just use 2 of them, frankly. I'm not going to go around trying to find the necessary bricks to make it work. I'm not as motivated to make Lego mocks as I was in the past. Mainly because I've already made my best stuff, but yeah, sadly, yeah, some things like that feel just a bit too gimmicky. I've already got plenty of things I could change and mess around with, so I'd rather just do that. So frankly, no. I might make a troublesome truck. I could get some dark grey, it'll be very tiny, literally about that big, that sort of thing. Kind of a little bit smaller than the gondola you just saw. I got an idea for it. But the only problem is I have no idea where the hell my dark grey bricks are, which is a bit of a problem because we got loads, but where the fuck are they? Yeah, so that's a problem. So yeah, that is it. That is all of... Can I actually check, for goodness sakes? Alright, never mind. I'm pretty sure that is all of them. Let's go to screenshots. There. Oh. Yeah, that's it. That's all of them. Wow. How long is this video? I think it was nearly 50 minutes. Jesus. Good fucking God. I'll tell you what, that was absolutely brilliant. I loved doing this Q&A. And hopefully more can be done in the future. So, yeah, a couple of things I will say before we go. So 1,000 subscribers is the face reveal. I'm not going to get this to you. You can have my chin, my little hairy chin. Bit of a stubble there. I can definitely do with a shave tomorrow morning. That's what you're going to get. 100 more subscribers, then you get the rest. New videos are definitely on the way. I have plenty of videos recorded. I have a very good schedule made up as well. I have an idea for a new series near the end of the year, which is really exciting. I'm getting all that prepped now. I've got more videos I can record after I record this one, but I need to figure out what's going on with my camera because recording space is ruining the phone. I mean, camera. We all know it's my phone, okay? Just shh. Another thing I do want to actually make known, I do have a second channel. Now, this is a bit odd because it is like the new home for all of my old Skyrim videos. So let me just mute this real quick, just because it might be very cringe. Here we go. So all of my old Skyrim videos, I did loads of Skyrim character builds, I did Let's Plays. So if you want to have a look at all of them, I will leave a link to that channel in the description, because they're actually not that bad, but you do need to be ready for some awful quality content. And I mean, it's literally my phone in front of the screen for about 10 minutes. Well, for the Let's Play videos, they're about 10 or so minutes, but for the builds, it's literally just 2 minutes of awfulness. Fucking hell, some of the, oh my god, these old ones. Oh god, I don't know if you actually want to look at these now. One thing that is actually worth looking at, I made for the Let's Plays, I did highlight montages. Those would be good to look at, because it kind of gets you back into wanting to play Skyrim again. Yeah, so in the description will be the Flickr account, if you want to follow that. There will be the channel link as well. There's going to be another couple of things. I'll go back through the whole Q&A. I'll make the necessary links. If you want to have a look at the Hobby Train Set series, all of the instructions that you can find online, I'll leave a link to that as well, because that's a pretty good one. They're all very good quality instructions, and honestly, it's really good for getting yourself introduced to new models, interesting building techniques, and it's brilliant. Okay, I shall now end this video here, because I need to have lunch. Thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for 900 subscribers. Thank you for your viewership. It has been amazing to be able to look at my channel and go, oh my god, 900 people give a shit about what I do. That's phenomenal. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all whenever I see it. I don't actually know when the next video is coming out. You'll know it when you see it in your sub box. Thank you very much for watching.